Good morning, everybody. It's Mandy from Chapel Forge. Jamie is helping me get bacon onto cookie sheets. I've been talking about this through the whole Pantry challenge. We always cook our bacon on cookie sheets. It's just so much easier, faster, cleaner, whatever. I had a successful bowl yesterday. It's not perfect, but it's loaf-shaped. We couldn't kick it across the room like a hockey puck like some of the other ones. It's a little dense, but honestly, I had a piece last night after a cold with some butter, and it was phenomenal. Dad has to go get some incubating eggs for us. So I am going to be learning. I got a new incubator, so I'm going to be learning my new incubator. Once I get this bacon in, I'm going to work on watching a video about that. And frankly, I think we're probably just going to do toast and eggs and keep breakfast simple again today. I asked Bud to pull out something for dinner last night, and he got out ground venison. So we might do something, maybe we'll do something on the wood stove today and just drop the venison in and do some chili or something on the wood stove and just keep it real simple today.
That one's a big chunk.
That is.
Is it, Mom?
It is.
No, hot.
Oh, it's hot?
No, whoa, that was hot.
Good job. Okay, close the door. Good job. Close the door. All right, you did it, buddy. So I just want to show you the broth from dinner last night and the fat cap that has developed on that. Like, that's an amazing amount of fat, and that is good. Animal fat is good for you. I know I get a lot of arguments from people that are like, I can't believe you didn't skim off that fat. Well, that's because it's good for you. So that's very exciting. We're gonna pop those probably in a fridge in the pantry. So update on the pantry, I'll go show you what that looks like. All right, so could have been way more catastrophic. Mudroom, we have some fans set up. These are just like old kind of carpet remnants, so we're not super worried about those. In here, not too bad. So still some wetness back there. Otherwise, I think we're in pretty good shape. Zad did pull this cord up just in case it wasn't sitting in water. All the freezers still seem to be functioning, which is pretty miraculous. There is still water like on this wall. Obviously not rushing in. It's super windy today, which should hopefully help kind of dry things out. I don't know if we have other precipitation on the horizon. I haven't looked because I've been too busy worrying about this. We always have our dehumidifier running. That's running constantly even before the great flood of 2024 happened. So I think we fared pretty well. The super positive thing is everywhere that flooded had concrete floor, which was something, it's not super conventional, I guess, but that I really loved about this house was that like our living room floor is concrete, the pantry floor is concrete, the mudroom floor is concrete, and that just really saved us. I mean, if we had carpet or hardwood in here, it would have been a mess. So until we get a dairy cow, which as I've talked about before is on the horizon, we typically buy cheese like this in a big log at usually an Amish store. So this was like $3.99 a pound. This one was $3.69 a pound. So we get it pretty affordably. So we're having breakfast sandwiches this morning. Zad toasted the sourdough, little melted cheese, eggs, bacon. All right, Zad's home with our eggs. So we are gonna get we got a new incubator this year. The other incubator I had was like super cheap from Amazon and only did like 9 eggs. So it was not user-friendly. This one's pretty good. I mean, it's like a typical homeowner version. It's not the nice big cabinet or anything, but it'll work for what we need to do. So the bacon that was left from breakfast, as I mentioned yesterday, I always do like the whole bag, which is probably 2-ish pounds or so. I'm gonna put in the bottom of this Dutch oven, just kind of breaking it up or cutting it up into small pieces. Put that in the bottom. We're gonna put our venison in, dump in our carrots, beans, pizza sauce, succotash. Oh, I forgot to get the broth. I'll have to go get those 2 jars of broth. And then I'll probably just throw in some seasonings. I have like a partial bottle of like Italian dressing or something that we got at Blessings of Hope. So we'll throw that in and just make us a nice little dinner. I'm gonna have to do my prep on this stove because my ferment rack is in the way. So we'll just get it prepped and then we'll just let it simmer on the stove. But still, this should take me 5 minutes to prep and we'll have dinner. So I could definitely do the same thing in an Instant Pot, which I mean, obviously, like that's how we make chili in the summer or when the stove's not running, but the coal is already being burnt. Why use a second source of energy to keep this hot until dinner time? I'm just gonna use like a few minutes worth of propane to get this meat browned, or at least starting to brown. And then we're not gonna use any other extra energy because we're already burning the coal to keep the house warm anyway. So I might as well use that heat source. So a big reason for us for doing the pantry challenge is we want to get at least a half a steer. And we needed to free up some fridge space in order to do that. So this venison, we have gotten venison twice since we got that venison. So it definitely needed used. Like it was probably from 2020 or 2021. So it definitely needed used up. So I'm just adding some seasoning in here. Get this finished up. I got my broth out of the pantry. We'll get it all mixed up and then I'll throw it on the coal stove. So coal definitely tends to get a little hotter than wood. So I'm gonna use my gun from my soap shop and just see if I'd be better off putting it on this one or on that one. All right, so according to the gun, that one is almost 300. That one's like 200. So I think what I might do is just put it up top here for a little while and then I'll just keep an eye on it. It might be okay on the bottom, but it's probably gonna be sitting there for at least 3 or 4 or 5 hours and I don't want it to burn. These are moldy. So these have been in the fridge for probably 2 weeks. They're not gonna go to waste, they're gonna go to the chickens. There's nonsense here, just every day, all day. Okay. Beans and succotash, which is basically corn, green beans, peppers. I think that's it. This is my favorite jar opener. It's from Pampered Chef. I've shown it before. I love it. It's the best. And yes, I have one of those metal ones and I like it. Zed and Bud like that one a little bit better. This one is my favorite though. It's really hard to get beans out of the jar. We're gonna need a utensil for this. Zad's over here making fun of me because I'm always a hot mess. All right, we're gonna stir this up and see if we need to add in the pizza sauce. We might have enough liquid. All right, I think we have enough liquid in this, so we're just gonna put this pizza sauce away for another day, all right? This looks amazing. We're gonna take it to the stove. All right, so I just put my tea kettle on the floor. I got my chili tucked in back there. Be perfect, put the lid on it. Trying 2 kinds today, a Dutch oven round and a bread loaf pan, so it'll be longer. See what happens. All right, so as I've talked about 100 times, goal of the pantry challenge is to use up the things that you always ignore. This Love brand granola that we buy on Amazon, it's organic, it's chocolate strawberry. We love it, it's delicious, it's pretty clean. That's our favorite. I freeze-dried baked oatmeal that I think was dry, and it's good, but it's not as good as the other one. So this has been sitting on the counter. We need to use it up. So what I'm gonna do, we're gonna have a small little yogurt parfait, and then Bud and Zad are heading out to the shop to work on fire pokers, while I work on entering stupid expenses because it's gonna be time to gather tax stuff and I don't wanna. So I'm gonna put some of the baked oatmeal, freeze-dried baked oatmeal on, put a little bit of this on, and then Bud grabbed some peaches. What year did you get?
23.
Bud.
It was at the front.
Wasn't there any 22s?
I don't know, you should rotate.
All right, so this is what we're gonna have for a little snack, and then our chili is on the stove. We'll have that here in a little while. All right, so dinner is ready. I just brought it in from the coal stove. It's hot, perfect, delicious, wasn't burnt on the bottom. We have some of this plant milk cheese spread classic chive. Super clean, by the way, if you're dairy free. This is delicious. We got it at Blessings of Hope. We're just gonna plop some of this on there because I don't have any sour cream made. I thought I did, but I don't. We're gonna throw some shredded cheddar on there, which I think that's the last of our shredded cheese. So we're gonna be moving on to hand grating soon. And we have some of these from Blessings of Hope. So that's what we're gonna have for dinner. I hope you enjoyed today. Tomorrow's gonna look a little different since we're not gonna be home for part of the day or a good chunk of the day. So we will see you tomorrow with some more yummy food.